Hey guys, what's up? Thrower here, and welcome back to Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. In the last episode, we went and fought the enemies at Fort Pinel and dispatched the second of Dan's 4 riders, Bertram. In this episode, while we have not gotten yet to the capital of Crimea, Melior, in order to fight King Ashnard, we have got what is coming up to be one of the most iconic fights that we have long been waiting for, and that is the fight against the Black Knight. So we have to get the severely undermanned Castle Nados in our possession as well. As the day's end draws near to Barnes, small forts of hawks and galleons cease their attacks and return to the headquarters. So I guess we'll find out how the diversion went against them momentarily. Chapter 27, Moment of Fate. If that chapter title wasn't a dead giveaway enough, and me spoiling it wasn't. Well met. From the looks of things, the battle ended in our favor. We claimed victory, yet Dane had more troops than we expected. It was a hard-fought battle. It wasn't that bad. It's just the enemies were kind of all over the place. That guy with a brave sword was a little bit concerning, but I took him out no problem. Don't have the best news to report either. What is it? As the day ended, we withdrew as planned, but as we were leaving, reinforcements again flooding in from the capital. Yeah, that's not good. The men that were originally guarding the castle were nothing special, but there was one who apparently appeared mid-battle and crushed an entire unit by himself. He was so much stronger than the others, it was as if a wolf had appeared in a kennel of blind newborn pups. What did he look like? He's covered from toe to tip in black armor. Yep. It's the Black Knight. So it looks like he's hanging out in Castle Nados. But you know what that means. Ooh, we got lots of money. Sweet. But it also means that we will be able to dispatch, hopefully, the third of Dan's 4 riders. Alright, so let's go ahead and prepare. Now, I will talk about specifically for preparing for the Black Knight at the end of doing all of this stuff. So first we're just going to go through our usual stuff here. So let's go ahead and speak to Titania. Can I speak to you for a moment? Sure. Something important to ask of you. Why don't you tell me about the night that Grail was killed? I understand that it's difficult for you. Yeah, might as well. Alright, so at the head of the path, Father told me to go back to the fort, but I had a bad feeling and followed him anyway. When I entered the clearing, he and the Black Knight were already fighting. They seemed to be evenly matched at first. They exchanged a few more blows, and then suddenly Father was sent flying. They spoke to each other for a moment, but I was too far away. I couldn't hear what they said. Of course, I actually showed on screen what they said, so it wasn't that big of an issue. Then the Black Knight threw a sword at Father's feet. I think he wanted Father to pick it up and use it. But he didn't touch the sword, he just raised the axe again and charged. It was over in an instant. Looked like they were embracing, just standing there frozen. But I saw the Black Knight's blade protruding from Father's back and shining in the moonlight. He pulled the sword out, Father sagged and fell backwards. I tried to run and catch him, but I couldn't hold him when we both fell to the ground. The wound Father's taken was terrible, but at that point he was still alive. Black Knight approached and said, "Give it to me." I had no idea what he's talking about. I do now, though. He'd be sent by King Ashnard to retrieve the medallion. Father told him he'd thrown the medallion away, but of course, yeah, the knight didn't believe him, because he knew of its importance. Both of them did. So he tried to get Father to top by threatening to kill me and missed. Yeah, he tried to attack. It obviously didn't work. King Gallia hadn't been nearby. I probably would have died that night, too. After he vanished, all I could think that was I didn't want Father to die. He was still alive. If I could just get him back to the fort, we could save him. But yeah, of course, he didn't make it back. Man, she's been grieving for a while, apparently. Seems like she's been grieving for more than Ike, or maybe Ike just doesn't show it as much. Met the Black Knight again. Yep. You've worked hard. You weren't able to defeat him. Well, because you were using an iron sword. Just never mind. No, it's not. It wasn't that your blade work wasn't good enough. It was his armor is impervious to damage from anything except for holy weapons or weapons that are blessed by the goddess. But Ike has one here. That sword. Where night after Father died, I went back to that clearing by myself. I'd hoped to find some clues that might help me hunt down the knight. The sword was still there. I brought it back with me. I've been hiding it ever since. Wasn't thinking about using it. I just believed that if I carried the sword with me, I'd meet the Black Knight again. And it worked. Supposed to. Is made to contest Alendite, which is the sword wielded by him, yes. Alright, Ike, if you think you got a shot. When you meet him, when you exchange blows, if at that moment you don't feel like you stand a chance, you must flee. There are times when running away is not the same as losing. Technically, this isn't the first go-around we're fighting him. It's actually the third, but whatever. And yeah, it's going to be a one-on-one fight, so... Well, sort of a one-on-one fight. Well, I said I was going to do it after, but I think I'm going to talk about it first, actually. We do have an actual stage to play, but the Black Knight will show up at the end of it, so you're going to have to go through the entire stage. And to clarify, and I will say this again whenever we actually get into the level, if you make it through the stage, fight the Black Knight, and Ike dies, you're going to have to restart the entire chapter over again. So, if you think you're outmatched by him, just run, because you will have the option to run away in battle. The reward you get obviously will not be as good, but you do have the option to do so. Now, first and foremost, I would say equip Ike with at least one elixir. If you've got two, then that's good. I'm actually going to take in two and swap it out for a full vulnerary. The thing with the elixirs is, Mist will also be joining in the fight. She will be your healer in that fight, and she is the only other unit that's going to be in that fight with you. It will just be Ike and Mist. Nobody else will be in the fight with you. So, if you've not been training Mist up at all, you used Reese, you used another healer, Soren, whatever, and Mist is not strong, she needs to be, I would say, at Valkyrie level 10 or higher, then she should probably flee the battle when you start, because reinforcements will appear, and while they will not attack Ike, they will go after Mist. So if Mist is not equipped to at least dodge their attacks, then she will die. So you need to make absolutely sure that if your Mist is not trained up, that Ike has elixir so he will be able to heal himself. If you have been working on Mist, however, then you've got the option to use her as a healer. The Black Knight will not attack Mist, he will go after Ike, so you won't have to worry about that. So in saying that, I'm bringing elixirs just in case something does go wrong with Mist, and she gets in a bad spot, but hopefully it will not be the case. But still, regardless of whether you're using her or not, take at least one of them with you. And I'm actually going to put a vulnerary back really quickly. As for Ike's stats, strength, skill, and speed all should be maxed like mine are, but defense should be as well, so for that reason I'm going to add some Draco shields and boost his defense, because he is at level 20 as you see right here, so his stats are not going to get any higher without me using an item like that. So I will be using them here, if I could get over to them. There we go. It only it's supposed to boost it by 2, but it only boosted it by 1 because his max defense is 24. So your strength should be 26, skill should be 27, speed should be 28, and defense should be 24. Skill's not crazy important, but it is very important still. It's not as important as the other 3. As for your HP, that will kind of just be however high you think it should be. I am actually going to go ahead and use a Seraph Robe on Ike just in case. This will increase his max HP by 7, so this will bring him up to 59. If it's if by some miracle it's actually at 60, then great. If it's over 50, then you're probably okay, but if you've got both of the Seraph Robes, I'd say go ahead and use one if it's anywhere between like 50 and 55, just to make sure that it's high enough. But if it's below 50, then yeah, definitely use one of them for sure, because then you've got an Ike that's got pretty low HP overall, so that is what you want to do for his stats. As for the skills that you can go into this fight with in fighting the Black Knight, you have a couple options here. Now, I said you have to have Ether. This is not technically true. It's kind of, quote-unquote, canonically what you'd want to have, and it does help a lot, don't get me wrong. But there are a couple of other things you can do. You can try to pull off Aether on the Black Knight, and that will work. However, other skill combinations can be used. I'll give you a good example. You could use Nihil, and this will disable the Black Knight's skills. So, you won't get any side effects. He's got a pretty bad attack that is actually, I believe, Luna. So, you could cancel that and make sure he doesn't get it. You could also make sure that, you could also combine Nihil with Parity, I believe, because Nihil is 15 and Parity's 5, or it's 20 and 5. Either way, you would have enough. Where you could pull off using, or you could disable the Black Knight's Luna skill without pulling off unwanted side effects of negating your other skills by using Parity. Another good combination would be Nihil with Wrath, which once again that will increase your critical hit rate, so you could do that as well. Just remember that parity can cancel the Black Knight's bonuses, so this will allow him to deal more damage. So, really, it's a combination of good stats and good skill combination. So, if you're trying to beat him, that's what I would say. So, any of those three would work pretty well. That's what I would recommend. Now, I kind of like using Aether, but note that if you go through the entire fight and you attack him every round and you do not get Aether or Ether at any point in the fight, you will not be able to beat him before the time runs out. So, because it's not like an actual timer, it's just like how many turns, but I have fought him before at level 20 with all of the skill, or all of my stats except for HP maxed, and I was still not able to beat him despite attacking every turn because I could not get Aether to work. If it works even once, you're probably fine because the Luna effect will negate his defense, and if that happens, you're pretty much okay, but just keep that in mind because it's a very important thing to make note of. With that being said, let's go over to Mist. There you are. Mist, I would highly recommend, very, very highly recommend, that you equip Miracle on Mist if she doesn't have it already. Miracle will basically reduce any lethal blow to half damage, so if she actually does get in trouble, then you'll be able to at least survive one more hit to get her out of there. You can also just heal her with an elixir as well, and I'll probably bring one for her just in case. But if there's anything else you want to add, you can, but Miracle I would highly recommend. You can use a sword. If you got her to B rank, you could use the Sonic Sword. If not, you can kind of just have a sword to counterattack if you want. The reinforcements that go after Mist are going to be Halberdiers and Light Mages, so she could probably kill the Light Mages, but the Halberdiers more than likely not, unless you've been training her up. Even with, you know, relatively high weapon level, her stats just in the strength department might be a little bit low. 14's not super high, but at the same time, we've got some Sword Masters that aren't, you know, like that much higher. That's only 3 points difference right there. So it's kind of up to you. Since she has a D in swords, I believe that gives her the ability to use steel weapons, does it? Let's find out by going to Mia's stuff. Yes, it does. So she can take a steel sword into battle if you really feel like you're going to need it. But obviously the magic swords would do better. At the same time, it's not the end of the world. If you take it in there with just stabs, you're probably going to get the same result, and you'll probably still be fine if she's high enough level. I would recommend for sure taking in at least one physics staff. You are definitely going to want it. Ward you don't really need. Rescue you won't need. Silence you will not need. He will not hand out status effects, so restore is not that big a deal. So really just healing in general. So for that reason, I believe I could bring back the recover staff. I think I'm actually going to do that. Let's get rid of this. I'm only going to use the Hammer Need once, and that's just to get the recover staff back, but if I see one in the shop here, then I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, there's not. So I'm going to go ahead and get the recover back to 15 so it can be a full heal, just in case Physic does not heal him enough. I need to make sure he gets back to full. So that is what I will do for Mist. I will take in an elixir as well for her. As for everything else, I'm probably just going to try to give her all the levels I can for experience here. And if this doesn't get her to 20, well, then we're just going to try to level her up as much as we can in the level. But hopefully it will not be an issue. So what you're looking for here is HP, speed, and magic, primarily. Defense would be nice, but the odds of Mist actually getting those level ups, you're going to be more likely trying to make sure she dodges attacks rather than just taking decreased damage. So speed is what you're looking for over defense, but of course both would help. It looks like we'll be able to get her to at least 17, which is good. She doesn't have to be at 20, but I would say at least Valkyrie levels 10, like I mentioned a second ago. Okay, that's as far as she's gonna get. She's not getting any more levels out of that, so... Overall, that's pretty good. That's a good magic stat, it's a good speed stat. Her magic's actually maxed, so that's good. But yeah, I'm not getting any more out of that. So now it's just a matter of topping off everybody that's pretty close to a level, really. So overall, I'm content with that. If you're playing this on easy mode, you could probably get her to 20 without any difficulty whatsoever. Heck, you could probably get every unit that you wanted to use for endgame to level 20 without any issues whatsoever. But at the same time, if you're playing this on normal or hard, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you probably will not be able to get her and Ike both to 20 unless you've been using really just them, and then that makes the rest of your units kind of not very good, so... You do want to try to, you know, balance out the experience to some extent. Yeah, looks like that's as far as we'll get. Alright. So that will be Mist's final stats. You can use stat boosting items on her if you want, but I don't really think you need, unless there's just a stat that is glaringly bad, which is probably going to be mad if, or not probably going to be, unless there's a stat that is glaringly bad that should not be, like magic or her speed's really low, anything like that. If you want to use a Seraphobe, you could also use it here, but keep in mind, Mist is not designed to be going out and attacking. I would say it's better suited for somebody, you know, that's actually supposed to be fighting like Ike is, or maybe a Swordmaster unit that's low in health. Heck, even Soren could probably be better suited for it, but either way, I'm not going to be adding anything to hers. There are no other skills to assign, so we will not be giving her anything else. So, looking at this, Ike is not going to be fighting for the most part, so I'm just going to leave these 2 swords for him. Whenever the fight with the Black Knight starts, Ragna will automatically appear in your inventory, but it will not appear in this chapter. It will be once you actually start the fight with him, but you will have to select the Ragnell's sword. It is also a ranged sword. We'll talk about it when we actually get in the fight, but yeah, don't expect to see it until the fight actually starts. Let's go ahead and put this up. Note that Amiti can only she's the only person that can use it, Alencia is, so don't even bother trying to give it to another person. As cool as that would be, can't do it. Yeah, that's right. I know we broke a lot of weapons last round, because that's what I was trying to do. Steel bow, silver bow, and killer bow. That's right, I broke the long bow last time. We're actually going to get the double bow in this chapter, which is the S-ranked bow, which can shoot. It's like a really weird, it's like 3 to 4 spaces. It's really bizarre. It's pretty strong, but I kind of like just forging an endgame bow anyway. It's not like the one in Radiant Dawn that's ridiculously good, so. Do we have any? We do have an extra steel lance, alright. Let's do that. I want to get Nephne. Yeah, I was going to say, I want to give her something better than what she has. Actually, no. Take back the Heavy Spear. There's a fair amount of Knight units, so anything like Heavy Spear, Regal Sword, if you're still trying to level up Ike, which hopefully you're not, Armor Slayer, anything like that would be a pretty good choice. So she looks alright. Leith, I know you got that from a unit last round. There are a couple Pharaoh ones. There's not too many. But if you feel like you need to bring those in, go ahead. However, I would save them for the next chapter after this, because Twisted Tower is all Laguz units except for the boss. So I would save them for that chapter. Mia looks okay. Oscar. Good question. He's got a silver lance, has a ranged lance. I could just give him a javelin, which is... I think I'm gonna do that, actually. Well, let's take the Laguz lance in, I guess. No, don't do that. Be relatively smart here. I usually save the brave weapons as well for endgame, just in case whatever you forged isn't quite strong enough. Maybe ×4 will still be enough overall, so that's why I'm saving the brave weapons as well. You think you could use them for 1 or 2 chapters, but you'd be surprised how fast they break, so... Alright, Astrid. She's actually running pretty short on about everything, really. I'm going to try to break both of those weapons, I think. At least, I'm going to try to break the killer bow for sure. It should not be that hard. Soren, I know you used up ward last time. So I'm going to have you do the same thing again. I think this will be an issue, but just in case it is... hard. Let's see. You've only got 1 ranged axe. Yeah, that's right, because I put a different one back in the convoy for whatever reason. Put that back. Switch back to the tomahawk for now. I like having 2 ranged weapons for him, just in case that short axe breaks. You are going to want your thieves for this chapter, so fair warning about that. You are going to want to take both of them in. You have to be very, very careful with them, though. In this chapter in particular. What else? There was something else I was going to do that I already forgot what it was. Oh, forge a weapon, duh. Okay, really quickly. there's some decent stuff in here. There's a couple of the L spells if you need them. The second level spells, L Thunder, L Fire, or Shine, which is mid-level. Yeah. Okay, who are we at? I think we're still working on Rolf's, correct? So Hark, I'm pretty sure I got both of yours. Or the one of yours, I should say. You only need one. Just use the big Toddy for Mia, really. Nephany, I know we got both of yours. Rolf, I'm pretty sure we just did yours last episode. Yes, we did. It's right there. So that puts us at Jill. We're not going to be able to forge everybody's, so really I think it's going to be Soren is probably going to get left out because he's probably going to be a healer for endgame, so it's not going to hurt him that bad. Mist does not need one. Mia will probably use the Vedkati because that's Stefan's sword, and it's still very good. Don't get me wrong, it's a great sword. Leith does not need one, so it's Astrid, 2 for Oscar, and 2 for Jill, and we've got 2 levels left. So, taking a look at what we have here, got the Brave Bow, so she could always use the Brave Bow. Because it says Might of 10, but since it can go twice in one round, it's kind of a Might of 20, really. So it's very good. So I'm going to say it's between Oscar and Jill, and whoever doesn't get their weapon forged is probably going to get the Brave weapons and the spears. We don't have any spears left, do we? We do have the Brave Lance for certain, though. This is a hard decision, actually. Can we? Yeah, we could still do this. So one person will forge 2 throwing lances, one for Jill, one for Oscar, and then in the last level we'll forge a regular silver lance for one of the 2 of them, and the other one will get the Brave Lance. Yeah, we can still do this. Okay. And Ike obviously will use Ragnarsson, so he does not need anything. So yeah, we can actually still do this. Okay. Forge. Forge a lance, throwing lance. Those are pretty inexpensive to make, too, which is a good sign. The silver one, we might actually have to sell a bunch of stuff, but in endgame, honestly, you're literally just selling everything except for what you're using, so that's not that bad. Okay, go and delete that. I kind of want to do something funny here. But nothing is coming to mind. I got a pretty bad one. It's not very funny, but we'll go with it. It probably won't fit. Yeah, it's not gonna fit. Stupid character limitations. Yeah, we'll just go with Gilliman. It's supposed to be a pun on Kilimanjaro, like the mountain, instead of Killiman, Gilliman. Whatever. That's stupid. I tried. I didn't try very well, but I tried. Jill has, like, reddish armor, right? Yeah, we'll go with red. The rebel looks kind of cool. It's more of a pink armor, but her hair's red, so we'll go with that. Convoy. There we go. I already checked that. What am I doing? There's one other thing I need to do, though. I need to take that vulnerary that I have one use back. Thank you. One more run through to make sure. Alright, I forgot I took that off of Ike in order to use the Draco shields. I think we're ready to go. Yeah, I think we're ready. Let's do it. Now, if you're going to watch this upcoming part here when the map actually starts, I'll probably be repeating the same thing that I did for the Black Knight fight in the 3rd part of this, because I'm probably splitting this into 3 parts. One part is this, one part will be the stage, then one part will be the Black Knight fight and everything after that until the chapter ends. But I'll figure that out once it actually gets into editing. Either way, let's go ahead and start. Yep, he's in there. Bjork's a real handful. Even when I attacked him in cat form, I barely scratched him. Yeah, because ordinary weapons can't damage it. Yep. Can I talk to you? Mist, we already know what you're gonna say. And Bastion is so busy talking that I can Mist will be able to sneak out and actually talk. Of course, she didn't actually have a headache, that was just a distraction. Yeah, listen to that music in the background, that's actually pretty cool. Okay, why do we have to have this talk now? Is this like her saying she doesn't want us to fight the Black Knight? Because that's what I'm expecting to hear. Alright, alright. Enough of this. Yep, that was him. Stop these pointless, I know. Yeah. If I were a sword fighter, I'd be doing the same thing, but you're not. Yeah, I have absolutely no intention of losing the Black Knight. I am going to try to fight him, so... It was a lie. Yeah, she can kind of sympathize because she watched her friends and family all get slaughtered as well. Alright, let's get back to what was actually important here. The Council. Which apparently we're actually skipping. I didn't actually hit the skip button, it doesn't go back to it. Black Knight, what's up? This is Hafed, this is the boss of the stage, but not the one-on-one fight. Okay, yeah, so apparently now that we've beaten 2 of the 4 riders, they're like, oh, they're not that easy, because the guy that would beat right after getting Patrine was like, oh yeah, anybody could take her down. So it's supposed to be like one of the biggest names in the Dan army. It's like, after beating him, yeah, they're still not that tough. Alright. The stage is a lot bigger than it looks, I'll give you fair warning about that right now. Do not be fooled, and I'll explain why whenever we start here. Alright. Choosing our units, Alencia will not be with us. We will be taking... taking Soren or Har. I actually have to choose. That sucks. Soren is actually the highest level here besides Mist and Ike, and I need to take both of them, so... I hate to say it, but I think Soren's getting sat out on this one. I don't know, though. The extra healing would be nice. I think I'm actually going to take him and... take out Astrid? It's either Astrid or Jill. Astrid gets double experience. She can get up levels higher. We'll take out Astrid for this fight. Alright, really, as far as who goes where, it's not too big a deal. Oh, right, we gotta bring the thieves in, too. I almost forgot about that as well. Well, maybe we should just take in one, though. We don't really need both of them. This stage takes a while anyway, so you really only need one, so Volk is obviously the better choice. Still don't want to take out Jill, though. Because she's high movement, she's got full guards, so she doesn't have to worry about all that stuff. Let's take out... This is a Hark, I guess. Yeah, he's got the Armor Slayer, but it's going to break after 1 round, so we'll do that. Alright, Volk, you're in. Well, not too much, is it? It's just a little bit of money. Screensaver, stop trying to come on. Yeah, we'll go with Soph, I guess. So, as for where your thief goes, there's a couple chests right here, but there will be chests on this side as well as this side as well. So, looking at the map for starters, looking at the map for starters, it does not look that big a deal. You know, there's just like a couple enemies here and there. There's thieves? Where are they? Thieves hanging around here? There's one. Where are the others? I only see the one. It's hanging out over there. Oh, there they are. Yeah, you're gonna have to kill these guys pretty quickly. And not just because they'll take the treasure, either. It looks to be a pretty small map. However, whenever you open this door, or this door, does not matter which of the 3, the rest of this area is going to be revealed. And there are a lot of other enemies in here, including long-range magic users. So if you open this door too early, it's entirely possible that if your thief is too close by, they're just going to zap your thief and boom, they'll be dead. So open these with extreme caution. Make sure your thief is pretty far away from the entire door so they don't get hit. So the thieves, of course, whenever they run up this area, will try to unlock those doors. So you want to get them out as fast as you can on both sides. Aside from that, this starting area, it's pretty much a do whatever you want map. You've got knight units on this side, you have warriors on this side, so anybody that's good against fighting the knights should probably go this way. There's some sword masters, a couple fair ones, there's a few archers and snipers, there's already a ranged magic user on the stage right here. If you're careful enough, you could steal his physics staff, but I would not recommend it. You could try to get him to waste the bolting spell, and then if you could prevent him from accidentally killing himself, you could theoretically try to run up and steal it from him, which, if you do that, more power to you. I might actually try to do it, but I don't even know if he's got a... Soph doesn't even have high enough speed to steal it, so in order to steal an item from another player, you have to have higher speed than they do, and he does not, so I'm not even going to bother trying with that. If you have Volk, I guess you could try for it, and that might actually be worth... Yeah, that might actually be worth enough to me to attempt it, so I'll take Vulcan instead. Going into the top half, it's mostly mages, halberdiers, healers. Kind of the stuff you don't see out here is pretty much what is going to be up there. So, just kind of plan as you will in that case. So, Soren, Har, Jill, Leith will go this way, because high movement to kill the thieves and good at fighting the knight units. Ike will go up the middle. Everybody else is going to go up, or go the left side. Volk will probably stay here for a turn or two, and that's about it. Mist. Actually, I'll send Mia up the middle with Ike, because I want a healer on both sides here, and Soren's already going to be on this side, so that's what we're going to do. So, with all of that being said, let's go ahead and get started here.